Maslin had gone rigid.
"What are you doing here?"
he demanded. L'Envers glanced at him.
"The Dauphine,"
Maslin said to the Duke,
"is in the orchard without a guardsman in sight. I find myself mistrustful of the prince's intentions. 'Tis not the first time he's sought a means to be alone with her." "I see,"
Barquier L'Envers said quietly. He took 2 steps toward me. I put my right hand on the hilt of my new sword. Beneath his close-cropped blonde hair his face was cold as anything I'd ever seen. There was no malice in it, merely a deadly calm, implacable and calculating.
"You don't want to play that game, princeling. Trust me, you do not."
I leaned over in the saddle and spat at his feet. L'Envers never moved.
"Go away, young Imriel," he said. "Far, far away."
"Guards," Maslin said crisply, drawing his sword. They unsheathed their weapons, approaching warily. My blade rang as it cleared the scabbard. I kneed the bastard in a tight circle, extending my blade and keeping them at bay. What would have happened if Sidonie had not emerged from the orchard at that moment, strolling arm-in-arm with Amarante, I cannot say. I dare say they wouldn't have attacked me in broad daylight without provocation, there on the Queen's grounds. But I am not certain. Sidonie's voice carried, cool and imperious. "Lieutenant Maslin, what on earth are you doing?" He hesitated, then bowed and put up his sword, gesturing to his men to follow suit.
"Your pardon, your highness. A misunderstanding, nothing more."
"I should hope so," she said evenly. Barquier L'Envers narrowed his eyes, studying her. She returned his gaze without flinching. "Well met, uncle. I trust your respite agreed with you?"
"Oh, indeed."
He gave a pointed nod toward the orchard.
"As I trust, did yours?"
"Very much so." Tender years or no, Sidonie didn't so much as flush. I ducked my head to hide a grin. From my vantage point on horseback I could see the slightest hint of a smile hovering in the corner of her lips. She shifted her gaze to me, inclining her head. "Cousin?" I returned her nod. "Dauphine?" No one else spoke. I sheathed my sword and took up the bastard's reins in both hands. He was edgy, body quivering between my thighs, hooves shifting. Sidonie and I exchanged a long, silent glance. "I'm going," I said to Barquier L'Envers, "but I'll be back one day." He said nothing, his eyes narrow and calculating. I repeated my salute, pressing a clenched fist to my heart, and then I turned to the bastard and gave him his head. We fled, startling the guards at the palace gate, bursting into the cobbled streets of the city, leaving behind a knot of intrigue and desire I'd no wish to unravel. Passers-by stared, and I didn't care. Let them think what they might. I felt the wind of our passage on my face, and it felt like freedom. Run, I thought. Run.